Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are tuning in from. Hello and welcome to the Dani and Paul show. We are currently what's our number today? Where are we
We
at?
we are number 11.
11. We're
11.
11. 11.
X5.
I am here with Paul Routier. Is that correct? Did I say that correct? I'm always afraid I'm going to ruin his last name, guys. So I never say it. So today I was like, I'm going to say it. It's Paul Routier.
Danny, I gotta tell you, if you go to my hometown, where I'm born, no one pronounces it right, and it's like being in a different country.
Okay.
So they all pronounce it, the. I guess the worst way to say it is the American way. Ruth here. so
Routier.
don't feel bad.
Okay.
The only place they ever pronounce it correctly is when I go to New Orleans or I'm in France.
Okay. Yeah. Because
They
French.
do it totally right. So
Gotcha.
anyway,
Gotcha.
I'm
Gotcha.
sorry. I
Okay.
digress.
So
I,
welcome to our show. As we mentioned last week, this week we are going to chat about collaboration. Collaboration is the Grant Cardone says is the key to the key to collaboration is the new currency. Collaboration defined as the action of working with someone to produce or create something. So, Paul, let's collaborate today.
well, yeah, and the first rule of collaboration is being able to pronounce everybody in the collaborative efforts names. You can't
Yeah,
have good collaboration without great cohesion. So anyway, um,
absolutely.
collaboration, yeah. The new currency, I think the way Grant's putting it is really specific towards collaborating with other businesses, other entrepreneurs
Mhm.
to build something greater than yourself.
Mhm.
So it's really about wrapping around an idea, wrapping around a concept, and then bringing each and every person's strength into the game. And I love this subject because most people, a lot of people, I won't say most people because that would be assuming way too much, but a lot of people collaborate because they know each other. They come together because they know each other and try to develop a concept. Where it organically forms really great around a concept that you find all the strengths of different people that you meet to bring into and create.
Agree. Yeah. Find those partners who match your energy, your ambition, and then fill your weaknesses, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Surround yourself with brilliant people. I don't know anybody I'm smarter than.
Me either. I never want to be the smartest person in the room. Nope. One, that's a lot of pressure. And two,
Too much responsibility.
yeah.
Let somebody else do all the hard work. No. Um, so I really think, it's a strong play to, develop a concept and then start building people. In fact, I had a really good meeting this week wrapped around a company that is trying to form. They have one piece of their puzzle. They're experts at that piece, and they brought in another piece that didn't fit. And it was kind of weird because I went into their office and they're set up and they're doing their thing. They're chiropractor, they're doing their thing. And then they have a prenatal nurse over on the side. Okay. And I'm like, what's going on here? What's the deal? And it's kind of interesting. And then, they're like, they want to be this holistic medicine scenario. And they need to get around an idea, maybe pain or maybe something else that they can start bringing the pieces in to solve that particular problem. And if you think about it, that is really the truth, is the problem you're trying to solve, and then bringing in the right people around it.
Yeah. So were they thinking more of a joint venture when they brought in this prenatal person, or
I think
joint
that's
ventures
that's
can be
prob-
collaboration, but
they started bringing in the people before they got the concept together.
Ah, I see.
That's the point.
Mm,
Is that they didn't have a vision
mhm,
for the outcome,
mhm.
so they were just trying to pile things in that could possibly make revenue.
Just throwing bleep against the window, the
Well,
wall,
yeah,
and see what
I,
sticks, huh?
I like spaghetti against the wall. Some of it may stick,
Nice.
some may not.
I know I'm the potty mouth in the relationship. I know.
Well, yeah, that's okay. I like horses.
Funny, but yeah, collaboration really it's also it's about building those relationships and moving whatever idea, concept, vision that you all have forward, right? So with like when I was helping to start humans for AI back in 2015, 16, and we were collaborating. I mean, I was collaborating with some data scientists from CPG companies. Talk about people, I mean, so much smarter than me. Some of the stuff that they said, I was like, um. But their input was key, right? To be able to collaborate for what we wanted to be able to say out in the market and really to show that one AI doesn't have to be a bad thing, it's a good thing. And then by collaborating, putting the right data into the AI model, then we get the good data out that is that isn't biased. So, just bringing collaboration into the AI age of today, since that's all around us, I thought that that would be a good example. And that's, those are the partnerships collaborations, filling those holes where you're not great, like you said, Paul.
So, Danny, that really brings up a good question. So, to you, like, what's a good basis? So I'm getting ready to put a project together,
Hmm.
and I have a concept. Um, what should I put together before I get everybody involved? What should I know? What's my platform to create a good environment for collaboration?
Okay, so you have an idea
Yep.
and you're looking for like a software platform, an AI platform, a social platform. I'm
Could be
not really
anything. I'm really looking for some, basics that's ubiquitous. Anything we're going to do. It's like,
sure.
what's 4 or 5 things I can do to ensure that I can build a good team?
Oh, great question. Yeah. One is to have that vision, to know what you want, to know where those holes are, so you can look for people that fill those holes, and that would share your vision moving forward, and that would challenge your vision too. I think that that's also part of it, not in a negative way, but collaboration is also getting all those blind spots that you may not have seen to be able to bubble up to the surface before it, perhaps, I don't know whether it's a product, I don't know what your concept is that you're rolling out, but before it hits the masses, right? So so I would say to know what you want to do, um, to have questions that you think you want answered, that other people have experience and wisdom to answer, to fill those voids, and then to use your network, because your network is your network worth, and reach out to them. Again, have no idea what this project is you're doing.
I said I might have a good idea. I didn't say I had a good idea.
What so
um,
what are you doing? I mean, does you don't have to share the project, but how are you going
no,
about
no,
it?
no. It's not a project. It was a hypothetical, but
Mm.
at the end of the day, I just think there's some basic things you can do. To your point, got to have a vision. What am I trying to accomplish? What's the outcome? I think the second step is, once you define your outcome, then you define the skill sets that you need to come to your outcome.
Mhm.
So you look at yourself and you go, I can do this. I can do this. I'm not very good at this. I
And I
absolutely
really
hate
hate
this.
doing that.
And I hate doing that. And to do that, I'm going to need to be trained. And I identify those skill sets to accomplish the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Once I identify the skill sets, that determines what resources I need. And now I'm going to go out in the world and try to find those skill sets with like vision, with values
Mm-hmm.
in the people, and bring them into the project, right? And if I can do that, even in a corporate setting, as I'm doing that, hopefully we all have like if our corporations properly formed,
Mm-hmm.
then all the employees are already of the same value set. Then I'm bringing them in based on skill sets, and then doing a team meeting to present my vision,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we start talking about who's going to do what to get the vision put together. So I think there are some like 5 really simple steps to ensure that you can start a good project or that you can create the collaboration that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Let's
that also
let's
that
say you.
I, I think it's good. So Paul is out in the middle of the wilderness, so he's breaking up just a bit. But yes, it's the solar system all the time. There's a new moon tomorrow, or tonight, one or the other. Anywho, yeah, those simple 5 steps. And Paul, you were so good at those processes of being able to clearly articulate them. And so that's one of the many things that I appreciate with you. I am more of a creative type, and I've always needed a process type of person to rein this girl in.
That makes us a fit.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Exactly. But I was going to say that I think our first or second podcast or live show was we also mentioned having a space in which people felt safe to give their opinions. And
Oh,
so just on those 5 steps that you mentioned, that's also being able to have those values and that safe space in which people can offer up their opinions so that they can feel their opinions are being heard and to be able to collaborate on, a much larger level.
yeah, I 10,000% agree with you. I mean, that's where the value system comes in, making sure that everybody that you are working with before the project or the collaboration even starts are really truly aimed at the same goal and operate from the same value set, because otherwise it's just a recipe for disaster, for
Mhm.
for uh in every project there's going to be a certain level of healthy tension. Otherwise you don't get
Great
the top
product.
results that you could don't
Yeah.
get the top product, but there is a respect that goes with the tension, and
Mhm.
that's based on the value system. So being able to recognize that in the people that you want to collaborate with is key to developing your project or your collaboration.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And I also it is fun to collaborate with your friends and because it doesn't have to just be about business. It can be, putting together a friend's birthday party or whatever. But when you do collaborate, do make sure that you show up, that you commit, right? That's another thing. Paul and I committed to this show, to showing up no matter what. And so it's been fun to collaborate with him. Also, post the P word or how C word. I don't know. I don't think we're allowed to say on some of these channels that we're on, but um, collaboration, I feel we started to work it alone. We're alone in our home or maybe with family. Most people don't work with their family. And so I think that collaboration was so important for us to bring up today, just to remind people that one, you're not alone. And if you're working at home alone all the time, get your butt out and go network and find somebody to collaborate with. And really, because that is where, when you're working in a bubble, that's not going to, that you may have great ideas, but it's truly great ideas when you get input, and you don't know your idea is great until you get it out there into the marketplace and collaborate with people. I mean, What else can we say?
Yeah, no, that's it's kind of funny you brought up post pandemic, and I'm sure we can use the p word, uh, but we had a bunch of us that actually got on Zoom calls and worked all day. Just with the Zoom open the whole time, just like we are in the office, and it gave that sense like you were in the office. Um, it was kind of interesting because someone would pop up just like at work, and all of a sudden they'd pop around the corner, at your cubicle or whatever, but they were right there on the Zoom call. And, hey, did you see the Lions play last night? Blah 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 blah. And it was just that sense of cohesion that we were able to maintain through the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And it was tough for a lot of people. And it's kind of interesting post pandemic is that it's harder for people to get together. Some people feel uncomfortable in a group of people now that didn't before,
Yeah.
right? It's a casualty of the pandemic. So it makes it even more difficult to collaborate. But ultimately, from a creativity standpoint, from a quality of your product or service standpoint, you can't have great product or great service developing it in a vacuum. You need other people's input. And
Mm-hmm.
the biggest key is to go out and get other people to see what you're doing and get their opinion on it. Especially if you're an entrepreneur or you're bringing product to market or you're inventing or you're creating a new process or a new training. All of the things that are out there it's key to have other entrepreneurs. And I think we're really talking to the solopreneurs out there who are
Mm-hmm.
sitting in their home offices and doing their thing. Interestingly enough, I was working with a gentleman this past week who owns a company, and it's just a small tech company. He services desktop computers, and we were talking about it. And I said he's in a small town in New England, northern New England, and he talked to me. He told me, he says, I said, so how are you getting your clients? And he says, well, word of mouth. I'm like, okay, so what other marketing are you going to do? He lives in a small town of 2,000, maybe 3,000 people,
Mm-hmm.
and he says to me, I said, do you know everybody in town? He says, no, I don't know anybody. I haven't left my house since. He literally does everything. I'm like, you need to get up, get some flyers made, and go walk your town, man, because your
Yeah.
target market are those small businesses in town. And how can you not know any of them? You
Mm-hmm.
you got to get out there. But he he told me, he's like, the pandemic did this to me. I didn't even think about it, and it was like, wow, it,
Yeah.
it the impact is amazing. Cutting his revenue, his ability to generate revenue because he's not even thinking about walking away from his home office.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I had a tech client who was all about, he's like, I ordered so many flyers and I'm now going, and I don't care if I'm not supposed to put them on the door or not. They are gonna know who I am and the business that I have. Sweet. Awesome. So I hope that guy gets out and about, or that person gets out and about, and it's just we're humans. We're not we run in packs. We're not meant to be alone.
Mm,
Urgh.
wolf.
I mean, I have been told that I could be a lone wolf from time to time, but still I have my pack, that I love,
Yes,
you
yes,
know.
yes. You got to have your pack. Got to have your pack for sure. So I think that's the big thing, though, to take away from collaboration is if you're not in one, get in one for whatever. I'll also use my daughter for an example. She just started at OSU, and we had a conversation last night because she's down at OSU and she's doing the freshman thing. No, she's not out partying at all. Um, but and she's going to class, And we're like, well, what else you doing? No, nothing. We're just partying, going to class, and partying, and go to class. It's like time to join some clubs, man. You got to
Mhm.
collaborate with other people on campus. You got to meet people. You got to, get your network on.
Yeah.
Network with people. It could be career opportunities later on down in life. It could be, whatever. It could be, Ohio State football player. Whatever it is, it could be, without meeting people, it's not going to happen.
You mean all those people aren't at the parties that she's attending?
So there's a difference between
I
collaborating wrapped around mind altering chemicals,
know.
collaborating with your full brain in your head.
Yes, very true. Very, very true. So
So
true.
I'll just throw that in there. But yeah, I mean, go to your chamber of commerce, go to the networking meeting in town, go to coffee with people, go shake people's hands, look people in the eye as you walk by them,
Mhm.
and meet them where they're at. And you're just not going to know what you're going to find, and you're going to end up finding a project that's going to be amazing and create revenue for you, and or not, or it's going to fulfill your soul because you're volunteering time for some other project. So
Yeah.
the benefits of being around people is huge, and getting with a cohesive group is an amazing thing.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Get out there and network because you never know where your next collaboration is going to come from, and that's exactly to Paul's point. And Paul, I would share with your client maybe he gets to go work at a co-working space just to be around a few other people.
Yep, I would do that. Except he's in a small town in northern New England,
Well,
and those spaces aren't there. Small towns haven't picked that up quite yet.
yeah.
You see those in the metro areas, but it's just not a everybody's on their own. So culture is a thing. Everywhere there's a little bit different of a culture, and that's it.
Yeah.
So what did we take away from this?
To get out there, shake hands, meet people, get your ideas out there, and collaborate. Get feedback. It's really it's yeah, talking to people, collaborate.
All right, cool. Well, that's all. That's the word of the day,
Hmm.
and I don't have anything else. How are we going to close out today?
What are we talking about next week?
Collaboration. No, you and I need to get better at collaborating. So I think next week we're going to talk about
Mm,
five ways to instantly jump your revenue in your business.
love it, love it. Especially since we are coming up to Q4. So
Exactly. So
great,
we're
awesome.
getting there. So we'll talk about five things that you can look at in your business.
Mhm.
We'll talk about how to analyze them, and we'll talk about how to build a quick service plan and execute on that business. And that should cover most product or service businesses. So
Love it.
interesting.
Yes.
All right.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. See you next week, same time, same bat channel. And if you'd like to be on the Danny and Paul show, just reach out to us, either to me at Danny at CoachDannyApgar.com, or
Paul at Cleveland Rain.
there you have it. Take care.